Hey there, Stacey Murphy here with a quick video. So when you have small gardening spaces, one of the questions that I get a lot is how do you maximize those small growing spaces? And what I like to tell people is I like to grow things that are fast and that you can keep harvesting time and time again. And so that means a lot of greens, things like lettuce, arugula, salad mix, but also kale, chard, mustard greens, all of those things, right? So I just wanted to show you comparatively how fast different things grow under different conditions. So as you're ramping up your growing season, you can see how long it's going to take for things to be ready to harvest. So you can make decisions about what you might want to grow inside as transplants, what might you want to purchase as a transplant, and what you might want to seed outside. So I'm going to show you 3 different things here. It's pretty cool. So first thing I'm going to show you is we bought some transplants. So here at our house, we wanted more greens and we wanted them fast. And we hadn't started any seeds indoors in a couple weeks, which meant that it would have, so the plants that are here, when we first planted them about 3 weeks ago, they were little babies. They were about this tall. And now you can see we could actually harvest some of the leaves off of these plants. And so basically we can come out here and take baby leaves essentially, and we have our mustard greens that are pretty spectacular. Wow, that's really good. I'm going to keep this. Anyway, so these plants started like this big, and now I can come out here for dinner and I can grab several leaves. We don't have to wait for this to be full size. I mean, full size, this plant could be pretty tall, but I can just come out and grab a couple leaves every day. And this only took a couple weeks for this to grow from a little baby transplant to now able to harvest. So that's what's possible in 3 weeks if you go and get good quality transplants. And I recommend good quality transplants if you can, organic, at nurseries or farmers markets or wherever you can find them. We actually got these at a big box store, but they were organic, which was kind of cool. Okay, so that's what happens. In this whole bed was transplanted 3 weeks ago, and we're already harvesting out of it. Now, I want to show you a comparison. This is nutty. So for those of you who are growing from seed, and keep in mind this box doesn't get quite as much sunlight as what I'm about to show you, so it's not growing quite as fast. So let me show you this one. Let's see if I can show you this. So right here, I'm growing lettuce mix. And so basically what I like to do is I like to put down a bunch of seeds, and then they grow in really lushly, and you can cut them like salad mix. You can get a lot of them all at once. And to do that, I like to put down a lot of seed all at once. And in this case, I planted these seeds a week before I planted any of this. And do you see the difference? Look at how tiny. Now keep in mind this is winter here in California. So this area is only getting 4 hours of sunlight every day, and temperatures for a long time were pretty well below 50 degrees at night. So it grew in really slowly. So it's about to take off, and our temperatures are rising. So this is about to take off, but it's going to be a couple more weeks before I can have lettuce mix. And meanwhile, over here in 3 weeks, I could pick some mustard greens, I could pick some lettuce, I could pick some kale and make my own salad mix. So that's the difference in how fast you can get food depending on what you're planting. And there's one more thing I want to show you. So these guys are my babies that we planted. So these baby seedlings, we planted these seeds the same time that we planted this outdoor area with the transplants. So we wanted to grow future transplants so that we would have more food later. So we have another container garden that we're gonna build out, and so we wanted transplants for that. And what I know is that the transplants, it's going to take 5 or 7 weeks to grow a kale transplant that's got a good 5 leaves on it. So we planted the seeds indoors, and you can see here in 3 weeks that the plants, they're starting to have true leaves. They're looking good. They're not quite as big as I would like for a transplant. You could transplant this outdoors, but I would recommend waiting until the plant has at least 5 real leaves. So you can see that these things take a little bit of time if you're going to grow them yourself. Now notice a couple things about the seedlings that I'm growing indoors. Number 1, I'm keeping the medium moist. That's very important. Number 2, lots of light. I have growing lamps underneath my desk, and I grow trays of seedlings underneath my desk. And that is absolutely important these seeds have gotten 16 hours of light each day. 16 hours. That's a lot. So those two things are making that growth really possible. The other thing is that the particular plants that we chose, kale, collards, mustard greens, those things, they grow pretty fast. Those mustards and those brassica plants, they grow pretty fast. The cilantro and the parsley we planted are a little bit behind that. They're a little bit slower. And the chives, look how slow. They're just now starting to come up after 3 weeks. So depending on what type of plant you're growing by seed into a transplant can take anywhere from like 5 weeks all the way up to like 12 weeks. All right, so there you have it. I wanted to show you the 3 different types of things that I was planting, how long they would take before they were ready for harvest, just so you could get a sense. I know for a lot of people, you're thinking about 2018 in your planting calendar, so hopefully this helps you plan ahead and see how far in advance do you need to plant those seedlings. When is that space going to open up in your garden? If you are planting seeds, how long it's going to be before you harvest. And so I would love to hear your experience, so please post in the comments below. Let me know what crops you like to grow from seeds, what crops you like to grow from transplants, and any other timing issues that you've had with your growing season so that we can address them in the comments below. I would love that. That'd be great. And love you guys. I love connecting with you guys. And if you want to see more of my gardening advice, you want to check out growyourownvegetables.org. We're overhauling the website. Would love to have you check that out. All right, take care. Love you. See you next time.